Alright, it seems like we might not be allowed in here. Hello,
Hey,
sir?
You're not supposed to be down here. Official business only.
Alright, are you gonna fall for this? Oh, it's fine. I'm allowed to be here.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, you can go on ahead.
Alright, thanks. That was easy. Alright, we are back in Skyrim with Eldmund Iron-Eye and his traveling companions Eric and Brutus, who over the last couple of episodes have been traveling eastward across the land of Skyrim towards Riften in the hopes of ultimately searching out and discovering the Dawnguard. Now, at the end of the last episode, we got just outside of Riften on the main road to the city, and we happened upon this fort that was inhabited with bandits, and so we cleared the fort, and that should hopefully make travel around this region a little bit easier. Now, as I mentioned, we're just outside of the city, and so the plan for today is we're going to head over to Riften and we're going to do some exploring. I figure if the team's going to be here for a while, which is probably pretty likely if we're going to take up arms with the Dawnguard, that we should probably get to know the locals, introduce ourselves, and see what's going on in the region. Alright, that's the plan, and we're pretty much ready to go, so let's jump in. Fellas, are you ready to follow me? I think you already are. Yes, you are. Fantastic. Man, I will say, between the Flora mod and the reshade that I've got going, this area is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the whole game is gorgeous for a 12-year-old game at this point, but Riften specifically is something really special. It will be fun to be in this area for some time. Ooh. Oh, I see a bear. We are gonna... Is that a bear? Looks like a bear. Could be a tree stump. Either way, we're gonna keep our distance. I think it was in the last episode. It's been a couple weeks since I played, but I think in the last episode, we tangled with a bear and I had my settings misconfigured. And Eldmund became first in flight in Skyrim. Flew halfway across the continent back to Falkreath. From a single swipe from a bear. That won't happen. Oh, Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. It's an elk. You stay away too, elk. We don't want to hurt you. Yeah. We won't get sent flying from bears again, but we'll keep our distance nonetheless. Oh, Jesus. Alright, everybody calm down. Get away, elk. You're gonna bring bears over here. Yeah, they're not gonna send us flying, but I'm sure it bruised Eldmund's ego. Are there any guards here? Can we introduce ourselves? Hello? No? Alright. No one's there. Let's carry on. Oh, there you go. Hello, sir.
Take my advice. Don't listen to that talk of the face sculptor down in the Ragged Flagon. Face butcher is more like it from what I've heard.
Noted. Duly noted, friend. Is it cold here? We are warm. But the air is biting cold and we're getting colder. We'll take out a torch. This should keep us a little bit warm for a little bit. Anybody here? They're probably up at the top of the tower. That would make the most sense. Oh, and Eldmund starts to get cold. Alright, we'll pick up the pace. Riften should be just up ahead. I think I see it through the trees there. I mean, there it is. All those watchtowers were a good sign. Alright, we're gonna head inside and we're just gonna explore.
See ya.
We'll see what's going on in the town. See who there is to meet. Hello, sir.
Hold there. Before I let you into Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax.
The visitor's tax? What is the visitor's tax for?
For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter?
Well, this is obviously a shakedown and I'm not gonna pay it.
All right, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you? I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate.
Shit. Oh my god! Watch out! There's a gigantic spider! Oh, jeez Louise. Nice. Oh my god.
Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders.
Alright, well I just saved you.
From Hammerfell strutting about.
Alright, everybody calm down. First of all, oh my god. Giant frostbite spider, no thank you. Second of all...
You're the one who gave Thalmor a black
when you're ready.
Sure know how to pick your enemies, don't you?
Interesting. Alright, well that was a lot of chaos, but it sounds like we got the door open. Thank you, sir.
What do you mean?
Get in here. Skyrim is a game of barely controlled chaos.
I had another run-in with the Thieves Guild.
Be careful, Leo. The Thieves Guild has Maven Black-Briar at its back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail. Or worse.
They represent the reason I'm here. I can't just ignore them, Eren.
I know. I just don't want you to leave. You're the only good thing that's happened to this
What are
city
you
in a
doing
long
back there?
time.
Eric, knock it off. Alright. Greetings, you two. You know what? Let's set our
Hey, you.
companions.
Get
All right.
over here. I want to talk to you.
Everybody just relax. First of all, Eric, get away from the door. Second of all you guys just go do what you're gonna do. Go hang out. And you, sir, who are you talking
I
to?
don't know you. You and Riften looking for trouble?
I'm just passing through, sir.
Yeah? Well, I got news for you. There's nothing to see here. Last thing the Black-Briars need is some stranger sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
And who are the Black-Briars?
The Black-Briars have Riften in their pocket and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you.
Alright, well, we're not really interested in getting dirt from this guy, so we'll just stay out of your way, sir.
Suit yourself.
Indeed.
I'll be at the docks if you change your mind.
Oh my god, I forgot about the pacing of this city.
I'm
It's
really getting
hilarious.
tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quieter, and nothing would have happened to it.
What? Are you telling me you robbed it? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Look, Shadr, last warning. Pay up or else. All I care about is the gold. Everything else is your problem.
Interesting. Excuse me there, sir. I couldn't help but overhear.
What do you want?
I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. What kind of trouble are you in?
I owe a great deal of money to someone, and I think they cheated me. I don't know what to do.
Well, how about you tell me the details?
I was able to work out a deal with the stables in Whiterun to sell me some of their tack and harnesses. I borrowed some gold from Saphire to pay for the shipment, but it got robbed before it even arrived. Now Saphire wants her money back, and if I don't pay her, I think she's going to kill me.
Alright, well, I think I can help. I'll go talk to her.
You will? Oh, thank you.
So you work at the stables?
Yes. Hofgrir took me in when I arrived in Riften about a year ago. He's been teaching me everything he knows. Horses are my whole life. Back in Hammerfell, I helped my family raise horses at our farm. I hope to open my own stables one day, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than I expected.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna make deals with the
You've done well.
Thieves Guild, it might take a little bit of time. Seems like Eric is still playing with the door back there. Hello, sir.
Sure. I'm a dirty beggar. Why would you want to even speak to me?
I just wanted to give you a little gold, sir. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
Indeed, I hope they do. Probably a little late in the day for us to, actually meet anybody. Oh, you look like you're beelining it for me.
Never done an honest day's work in your life for all that coin you're carrying, eh, lad? Never done an honest day's work in your life for all that coin you're carrying, eh, lad?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm saying you've got the coin, but you didn't earn a septim of it honestly. I can tell.
You quite obviously cannot tell, and my wealth is none of your business.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, lad.
Oh.
Wealth is my business. Maybe you'd like a taste.
What did you have in mind?
I've got a bit of an errand to perform, but I need an extra pair of hands. And in my line of work, extra hands are well paid.
And what did you want me to do?
Simple. I'm going to cause a distraction. You're going to steal Medesi's silver ring from a strongbox under a stand.
No, I'm not going to
Once
do
you
that.
have it, I want you to place it in Brynjolf's pocket without him noticing.
Are you kidding, sir? No, I don't think we're going to be getting involved in breaking the law. Thank you very much.
Sorry. I usually have a nose for this kind of thing.
No, you don't.
Never mind then, lad. If you change your mind, come find me.
Alright. Alright, we'll stop and talk with the blacksmith for sure, because we should get our gear tempered while we're here. Lest we break it on the road. Hello, sir. You seem quite proud of your work.
Smithing's been in my blood for generations. I owe my success to my forefathers and their recipe for flame. The secret is my forge. It consumes fire salts, a strange mineral that burns as hot as red mountain lava.
Very impressive.
Well, it was. Sadly, this forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salts. If I can't feed it soon, it may grow cold.
Well, perhaps I can find some for you.
You will? Thank you. 10 pinches of fire salt should give me all I need to bring this forge back to life.
10 pinches. Jeez Louise, man. Alright, well, where might I find these fire salts?
A flame atronach's body might provide fire salt. They're dangerous creatures that can be summoned by wizards. Of course, it would be much easier to check with an alchemist. They occasionally have them for sale.
Well, I imagine current events are keeping you busy either way.
People say I'm making gold off of other people's misery. But what else would I do? Smithing is all I know. Next
Makes
time
sense.
one of my shields deflects a killing blow, they'll change their tune.
It is late in the afternoon. I was hoping we'd get here a little earlier. Perhaps we will, call it a night. Yeah, perhaps we'll head to the tavern. We'll call it a night, and we'll head out in the morning and start talking to the locals.
People of Riften, heed my words. The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile liquids, and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Time.
No, Maramal. We talked about this. Talen?
Kira,
Yes, throw 'em out.
certainly we can come to some sort of an understanding. These people must be made aware of the chaos they've sown.
Enough, Maramal. We've all heard of the dragons and their return.
Let's get a room and then we'll talk to
Use them
people.
as an excuse to harass our customers.
Pardon me, madam. You look busy, but I'd
Very
love to
well,
talk to you for a second.
Got the coin? You're welcome here. Otherwise...
Alright, we've got our room settled.
Looking
Let's
for
talk
work?
with some of the
I need
locals.
someone to deliver a message to Sibbi Black-Briar.
Maramal.
How may I help you, my son?
Can you tell me more about the Temple of Mara?
Wonderful. Where to begin? Mara is the goddess of love. The temple spreads her gifts by tending to the sick, the poor, and the lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim.
Can you tell me about Mara's beliefs?
Mara's domain encompasses the emotions we strive the most to embrace: love, compassion, and understanding. It's difficult to appreciate her gifts in these dark times, but you should consider her light a beacon in the storm.
Sorry, friend, but I'm
May you
sworn to the
return
god of
her
death.
benevolence in safety.
Brynjolf, I've already talked to
Looking for
you,
work?
but I
need
think I
someone to
see the
deliver a
person
message to Sibbi Black-Briar.
you mentioned. But I think I see the person who was shaking
Yeah.
down Shadr.
What's your problem?
I wanted to have a word with you about Shadr's debt.
I knew that stupid kid would try and find a way to weasel out of his debt. Look, this is really simple. I lent him some gold, he promised to pay me back, and now he says he's broke. End of story.
Listen, you and I both know that whole thing was a setup.
All right.
Nice.
I guess I made enough from his shipment. No need to waste any more time threatening a stable hand. Tell Shadr he doesn't owe me anything.
All right.
That'll teach me to try and make extra coin around this city.
Jeez Louise, lady. You shook down some poor kid. Stole his stuff after giving him the money to go buy it. Awful people. Forgot how awful these people are. We might talk to this guy just to stop him from telling me this.
Message to Sibbi Black-Briar.
You mentioned a few times, sir. What sort of message?
Well, I recently approached Sibbi Black-Briar about buying Frost, one of the finest breeding horses in Skyrim. He agreed to sell. I paid Sibbi half the cost of Frost up front, but before he could deliver, Maven had him locked up. Sibbi believes this exempts him from our deal. It does not. I want you to talk to Sibbi for me. Then I want you to bring me Frost and the lineage papers that prove the horse's worth.
Yeah, we could do that. That sounds easy enough.
Good man. You won't regret it. Head to the Riften jail and talk to Sibbi. Get him to tell you where Frost and his lineage papers are and bring them to me outside Riften.
All right.
You'll be well paid for your time.
And why is Sibbi in jail?
No idea, but whatever he did, it must have angered Maven. No guard would lock up a Black-Briar without the old lady's permission.
And why don't you go talk to him yourself?
I'm not exactly comfortable around guards or jails. Definitely not when associates of mine have been locked up. No, I'll meet you outside of town.
Fair enough.
Help. Here for work?
And what about you, sir? Why all the hatred for the Empire around here?
They mean to take our history and crush it all in the name of some damn treaty. The soil beneath our feet is steeped in the blood of our ancestors. We've fought for this land, and died for it. I lost my own daughter to the Imperial dogs, and by Talos I'll not lose anyone else.
What happened to your daughter?
Lilia joined the Stormcloaks many years ago, when the first of the skirmishes broke out across Skyrim. I was so proud of her. She served as a battle maiden, using her healing arts to help those that fell on the battlefield. Never even lifted a blade in her life. It didn't matter. The Imperial soldiers cut her down, killed her like a dog, and left her body to rot in the mud. And that's why I won't rest easy until every single Imperial soldier joins her, and Ulfric sits upon the throne of Skyrim.
Alright. Alright, I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like war. Oh, Shadr, you're right here.
Fortunately for you.
What do you need?
Shadr, you're no longer in debt with Saphire.
By the 8. You actually talked her into it?
Yeah, I was right there. You saw me.
I didn't think anyone in Riften even cared what happened to me. Look, I was saving this, but I wanted you to have it. I thought I might need it if Saphire came for me, but I don't need it anymore.
Oh, thank you. Oh, too bad I can't refuse. Thank you very much, sir. Be more careful next time. Talen-Jei, my good man.
What can I do for you, friend?
You had mentioned serving special drinks before?
3, in fact.
I think you did.
My own recipe. Brought them over here from my days as a bartender in Gideon. First is the Velvet Lechance, which is a mixture of blackberry, honey, spiced wine, and a touch of nightshade. Perfectly safe, I assure you. Second, we have the White Gold Tower, which is heavy cream with a layer of blended mead, lavender, and dragon's tongue on top. Last, and only for the bravest of souls, we have the Cliff Racer, which is firebrand wine, Cyrodiilic brandy, Flynn, and Sujamma.
Well, perfect timing, because I am a little thirsty. What do you got on the menu?
Depends.
We'll buy a Cliff Racer. Oh, it's only 13 bucks. Here, we'll buy one for each one of our guys. There you go. Thank you, sir. So how did you and Kirava meet?
I met her when I wandered into Riften a few years ago. Been smitten with her ever since. In fact, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me.
I love it.
In Blackmarsh, tradition dictates we present a potential mate a unique wedding ring to represent our future bond. I already have the gold band, but all I need are 3 flawless amethysts to complete the setting.
Well, I spend a lot of time in dungeons looking for rare gems. I could probably find those for you.
I was hoping you'd offer. I didn't think it was my place to ask such a favor of you. I thank you.
All right. Can you tell... I love that he was thinking about asking a stranger that just walked into the bar if he could get him 3 flawless amethysts. You're lucky I offered. All right. Can you tell me about your wedding ring?
Every Argonian wedding proposal band is supposed to have 3 flawless amethysts as part of their design. 2 of the gems, the ones on the outside, represent the couple to be married. One for the husband, one for the wife. The amethyst in the center represents the Hist, the entity that all Argonians consider a sacred part of our lives.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, it's the next morning. It's still pretty early in the morning, so no one's out yet, but it looks like people are starting to fill the market. One person. But we're going to take advantage of the fact that it's still pretty early, and we're going to go look around a bit. I'd love to find... Oh, the well's right here. I'm going to say I'd love to find the well so we can refill water without paying. And we can. And, is there a Hall of the Dead here? I'd love to pray to RK. If we could. That's the Temple of Mara. Hall of the Dead. Beautiful. We'll see if there's a Priest of RK to say hello to in here. A dead Nord. Sad. Wow, what an interesting Hall of the Dead. Oh, and there we go. Shrine of RK. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Don't get upset with me. No one got upset. I accidentally stole a flower. Hopefully we can make atonement for that. It seems there is no priest in here. It also could be early. The priest could be asleep in his home. This is a very interesting Hall of the Dead, with just bare bodies laying out. Alright. Well, we'll leave the dead. Rest. There's no doors in... Oh, there's a door. Is it locked? No, it goes into the Temple of Mara. Alright. We'll head into the Temple of Mara. Alright, we'll go upstairs and leave out the front door. Maybe the, Priest of Archay is in here. Alessandra. Are you the Priestess of Archay? We're gonna wake her. Sorry to wake you, ma'am.
Come to laugh at the grave tender?
Ah, there you are. So you are the Priestess of Archay. You tend the graveyard here?
If you're trying to ask if I tend the Hall of the Dead alone, then the answer is yes. You think anyone around here is going to lift a shovel to help me? Guess again.
Probably not.
Leave the dirty work to old Alessandra. Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father.
Alright. And how is your father to blame for your job?
My father was a priest of Archay. All my life was spent around the dead, being forced to learn the proper burial rituals and prayers. I never had any friends. Who'd want to spend time with the weird little girl who hangs around dead people? So I grew up with a miserable trade. This is all I know how to do.
Jeez Louise.
Prepare and inter the deceased.
Do you think you can make peace with your father?
I'd like to make the journey to the Hall of the Dead in Whiterun, and give my ceremonial dagger to Anders, the caretaker. I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory.
I could bring that out there for you.
I hadn't asked you because I was afraid you'd say no.
Okay.
I appreciate your help. Here, I'm entrusting you with the dagger. Bring it to Anders and he'll take care of the rest.
And what's so special about this dagger?
A priest of Archay is entrusted with a ceremonial dagger once they've completed their training. It's usually given by the head priest who sanctified the ritual. In my case, the head priest happened to be my father. The thing is, I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. In some ways, I still don't.
But you ended up doing it anyway.
I had to, for honor's sake, but I had waited too long. My father died before he could see my training to completion. When I finally became a priest, they gave me the new High Priest's dagger, but I already owned my father's. So you see, I have to return it. It breaks tradition, and I need to tell him that I finally did what he wanted.
All right. Well,
Be cautious.
we'll do what we can.
The pilgrimage to the shrine is not an easy one.
We will very likely be passing by Whiterun when we head out to pick up the rest of our team. We can return that for them. I think every Hall of the Dead has a small quest in it. It's always nice to stop in the Hall of the Dead anyway. I think Eldmund is a...
Welcome to her benevolence.
I think Eldmund is a devotee of the god Archay, so it's nice to say a prayer. And if we can help, we'll help. Probably still a little early for people to be out, but we can poke around the town. Nothing much, sir. We're just looking around. Haelga's bunkhouse? It's open. We'll stop in.
You lost? What do you need?
Well, madam, I was mainly wondering what this place was.
This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Haelga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No.
Okay.
The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists.
And are you the only one that works here?
Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits, and she was dropped in my lap.
All right, thank you. I hear
You have my thanks.
my companion's making a mess back here. Oh no, it's not mine. Who are you people? Who are you? Water's deep.
So pleased to see you.
No, just a follower?
Until next time.
Oh, I suppose you're the workers of the town that stay in the bunkhouse? And you must be Svana.
Yes.
Svana Farshield. Hello.
Is there something I can help you with?
You work here with Haelga?
Work? I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean.
Okay.
Ever since my parents died and Haelga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman?
Oh, jeez.
So now I'm stuck living here, while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things.
I mean, the answer sounds obvious, but let's find out anyway. Why do you hate Haelga so much?
It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of Dibella a bit too seriously. Do you know she slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it.
I mean, I guess there's a way you could do that. I don't know why we would get involved, and perhaps you shouldn't be so judgy, but I suppose there must be a way for you to do that.
Actually, there is. But I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of Dibella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do.
Yeah, maybe another time.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not the best idea.
It's not the best idea at all. All right.
You've done well.
Man, I forgot how awful everyone in Riften is. I mean, the Thieves Guild is here, so it makes sense, but they're all terrible people. Her big plan was to shame her aunt for sleeping around. Nice. You know what we could do? Let's go to the jail, which I would imagine would be at the keep. And we will talk with that Sibbi Black-Briar we're supposed to talk to. By the time we get done in the jail, I assume the shops will be open. Don't get upset. Okay, good. Pardon me, sir. Alright, it seems like we might not be allowed in here. Hello,
Hey,
sir.
You're not supposed to be down here. Official business only.
Alright. Are you gonna fall for this? Oh, it's fine. I'm allowed to be here.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, you can go on ahead.
Alright, thanks. That was easy. Oh, that's a room for a Black-Briar if I ever saw one. Pardon me there.
Have you come
there
to
you
gawk
are.
at me, or is this a social call? Ah, finally. Someone besides the stupid guards to talk to.
I was sent by Louis Letrush.
Ah, and let me guess. He wants his horse.
Indeed.
Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. You see, I don't really outright own Frost.
You don't own a horse you already sold to Letrush.
That is correct. You see, Frost belongs to the Black-Briar estate. Technically, everything in the estate is owned by my mother, Maven. My plan was to take the horse from our lodge and deliver it to Letrush at the stables. Obviously, that didn't exactly work out as I'd planned. Still, I don't want to cross Letrush. Tell you what, steal the horse and deliver it, and you can have the second half of the payment.
You know, I bet Maven would pay me even more for this info.
Sure, take advantage of the guy in jail. Okay, fine, I can make the deal sweeter. I obviously don't have anything here, but there's a hidden stash in the lodge, and I did manage to hold on to the key. Take it.
Eldmund is getting in a little over his head. I forgot how incredibly awful this place was. Everybody here is just a thieving, awful person. We are very likely just going to go tell Maven Black-Briar what is going on under her nose and let her just sort it out. Rather than getting involved in stealing from what sounds like the most important person in Riften, we'll leave them alone. Alright, it looks like the shops are open. We'll head to the Pawn Prawn first. Oh, and the Black-Briar Meadery. We'll go in there next. We can find out about Maven's whereabouts. Hello, sir.
Welcome to the Pond Prawn. What can I do for you?
Your shop has the most unusual name.
Catchy, isn't it? In my youth, I was a fisherman. I had a beautiful ship named the Brawny Prawn. But the years have a way of creeping up on you.
They sure do.
I ended up selling that ship to open this place. Seemed only fitting to name it after her. Well, changed it a bit, I suppose. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my boat. Coming to this city was a big mistake.
I'm starting to feel that. I'm compelled to agree, but what do you think is wrong with Riften?
The question is, what isn't wrong with Riften? This city is corrupt, rotten to the core. No one cares about anything except themselves, and how much coin they can make off the misery of others.
Maybe you should speak to the authorities.
Authorities? Have you been listening to what I said? They're all dirty. Every one of them. The only way to get things done in this city is to keep your head down and pay off the right people.
Man, I completely concur with Percy. I forgot how corrupt this place is, like completely to the bone. Every single person you run into is worse than the person that came before him. Alright. Let's head into the meadery and see if we can learn a little bit more about the Black-Briars. Hello,
Welcome.
sir.
We serve only the best here. Black-Briar mead. May I get one for you?
What makes Black-Briar mead so special?
Lady Maven's been developing the secret recipe for Black-Briar mead over the last several decades. She uses a very secret blend of spices, fresh honey from Golden Glow Estate, and specially constructed aging casks to ensure the best flavor.
Interesting.
Even when you get to the last sip in your flagon, it'll taste just as good as the first.
Well, that certainly sounded rehearsed.
Damn it. Sorry. I'm not very good at this. Look, just don't say anything to Maven, will you? I've spent weeks trying to get that right, and if she sees how stupid I am, she'll get rid of me.
Well, there are worse things than being fired, my friend.
Yeah. Fired. Sure. That's what I meant.
Jeez Louise. Well, tell me about this Maven Black-Briar.
She's an absolute pleasure to work for. In fact, I almost feel guilty accepting pay from her. Why,
that sounds rehearsed.
Last week, I was commenting to my fellow meadery workers just how lucky we are to be working for such a charitable family.
All right, come on. After all that, go ahead and get the truth off your chest.
Okay, look. If I'm caught saying anything bad about the meadery or the family, I'm a dead man. I'm the 4th person to work the tasting counter in the last year. The last 3 are at the bottom of Lake Honrik.
Why would you take this job?
Just take my advice and just get out of Riften as soon as you can. Come back.
I don't know. Maybe we could do some good here. I don't know how we'd go against all of this corruption. I don't even remember if that's a possibility within this game, but it might be nice to turn this place around if we could. All right. We'll talk with the shopkeepers. Not you, Brynjolf, you jerk. Madesi, my good man.
Need something?
How's business?
Not well, I'm afraid. That Brynjolf, he keeps draining the people's pockets with his ridiculous miracle cures. A few months ago, it was Troll Fat Salve, and now he's got something new.
Troll
Not that
Fat
there's
Salve.
anything that can be done about it. He's in good with the Thieves Guild.
All right, well, that's a bummer. So, your jewelry, do you make it yourself?
I do. Sadly, I'm one of the few traditional Saxhleel jewelers that remains in Tamriel. It's becoming a lost art. Only trouble is gathering materials has become hazardous. The roads to the mines and to the other cities are thick with bandits, and worse. Would you be interested in gathering some materials for me? I'd certainly be happy to compensate you.
What do you need? I mean, I guess we could tell him yes. Yeah, sure. We'll help.
Thank you, Landstrider. I'm seeking a small list of items to complete my next creation. 2 flawless sapphires, a mammoth tusk, and a chunk of gold ore.
You mentioned Saxhleel before?
Forgive me. It's a term I haven't used in some time. While most in Tamriel call my kind Argonian, we prefer the term Saxhleel.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Was actually my original Saxhleel name. Unlike others, I decided to embrace tradition and keep it that way.
Well, that was very interesting. Thank you.
20 septims each.
You
Hello,
gonna
madam.
buy something? Or just, you gonna
Jesus.
stare all day or buy some armor?
You treat all your customers like this?
Look, I've moved all over Skyrim selling these bits of junk, and I'm barely scraping by. I'm not out to win friends, and I could care less if you're happy about your purchase or not. I just need the coin. The sooner I get out of Skyrim, the better.
Interesting. And why would you want to leave Skyrim?
Are you serious? The war is tearing the land apart. The
Fair
dragons
enough.
have returned seeking who knows what.
Fair enough.
Skyrim is going nowhere fast. If I were you, I'd pack up and get out of here before you end up in one of those burial cairns.
All right. Well, you sound pretty desperate for coin. You having trouble selling these goods?
Are you serious? I've moved all over Skyrim
What?
selling these bits of junk, and I'm barely scraping by.
Seems dangerous for a merchant to be traveling the roads with the war going on.
Well, let's all raise a flagon to Ulfric, future king of Skyrim and bringer of poverty to the working class. Say, you look like you could handle yourself. Maybe you can help me, if you're looking for work.
What in the world was that? Alright, that was hilarious, that audio file being cut together, but sure, we'll bite. Possibly. What do you need help with?
I need someone to pick up supplies from Naranya, living in Windhelm.
Sure, we'll help.
Thank you. Just bring it back to me, and I'll gladly pay you for your trouble.
Okay. What exactly am I getting for you? Nothing too illegal, I hope.
Don't ask any questions, all right? Just bring it back to me.
Alright. I'm assuming that comes from a mod. That was hilarious. Whoever cut that audio file together, that was great.
Take a chance.
Hello, sir. What are you selling?
Can I interest you in some fine goods from Morrowind?
Brynjolf, you have an odd name for a dark elf.
I may be dark elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian.
Oh.
For reasons I'm still trying to discover. I ended up orphaned, then taken in by a kindly Argonian family in Black Marsh. I hope one day to find out what happened to me, how I ended up like that.
Do you have any clues about your past?
Just one. I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni. It was one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful.
I'll keep an eye open.
Thank you.
So why were you searching in Skyrim?
I learned that a matron who had served for House Telvanni had escaped Morrowind during the Accession War. Records showed her buying passage aboard a sailing vessel named the Pride of Telvos, but that's where the trail ran cold. I spent years looking for what became of the ship, but I ended up empty-handed.
Alright, well,
good luck out there.
We'll keep an eye out for clues about your past, sir. Alright, we spoke with everybody in the market, and we've got a couple of quests. We can help out with the people who, at least the ones who seem nice. Who don't seem like they're awful, corrupt, terrible thieves. Let's stop in at the keep. We'll introduce ourselves to the Jarl, and then maybe we'll see if we can help any of the people that we've promised to help.
Oh, come to gloat, have we? To poke fun at the Jarl's youngest son?
Killed several soldiers before it departed.
I want you to speak to the city guard. Make sure there's a contingency plan in effect in case Riften falls under attack.
Yes, milady. I've also taken the liberty in preparing a private carriage, just in case.
Good. If Riften should fall, it's only right that its leader be spared.
Interesting. Jarl.
Welcome to Riften, traveler. I hope the road fared well for you.
So far it has. What's your stance on the war?
While I feel Ulfric's cause is just, my concern is for the people of the Rift. How can they continue to lead their already meager lives with dark clouds looming overhead? My heart goes out to them. If only our coffers were deeper, I could protect them as they were my own family.
And what of Ulfric himself?
With the Stormcloaks at his back, Ulfric's poised to rid Skyrim of the Empire's forces and invalidate our involvement with the White Gold Concordat. Many have died taking up arms for this cause. I fear that the land will be stained with blood for years to come.
That it may. And what exactly is the White Gold Concordant?
Surely you're aware of the Great War between the Imperials and the Elves who called themselves the Aldmeri Dominion?
Remind me.
When the smoke cleared, the White Gold Concordat was signed. It was supposedly a treaty aimed at establishing peace within the Empire. One of the terms of a treaty was the outlawing of worship to Talos. To the Stormcloaks, this was viewed as the moment when the Empire became unworthy of the allegiance of any true Nord.
Very interesting. Can you tell me anything about the Thieves Guild I've been hearing so much about?
We're all eager to see them brought to justice. Maven Black-Briar has assured me that they're being dealt with appropriately. As one of our city's most influential citizens,
meadery owner?
she's taken it upon herself to oversee their incarceration.
Okay.
Sadly, they're proving elusive, but I have confidence that Maven won't give up until this city has been rid of them all.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Good journey to you.
As Jarl Leila's houseguard, I would ask that you maintain a respectable distance from her at all times.
Sure thing.
As Riften's
Noriel.
steward, if you're here to report any instances of corruption, be confident that we're handling these rumors accordingly.
Interesting. And what exactly do you do around here?
As steward, I serve as an intermediary between the Jarl and her subjects. I also handle the less important and day-to-day policies that affect daily life in Riften. Lately, I've had my hands full suppressing these ridiculous accusations of corruption in the Keep.
And what are these rumors of corruption you mention?
There are those that believe the Jarl does nothing for this city, that it's corrupt and run by the Black-Briar family.
Sounds like it might be.
I can assure you that this is entirely false. We are fully in control of everything.
Well, can you tell me about this Black-Briar family?
Maven Black-Briar is the owner of the largest and most profitable business in all Skyrim, the Black-Briar Meadery. We're pleased to have her in Riften. She brings stability, opportunities for employment, and strategic value to our city.
And what about the Thieves Guild? Can you tell me about that?
I'd hardly call them a guild. More like unorganized rabble. In fact, I wouldn't say they were a threat at all. No, our resources should be spent on preparations for invasion.
All right.
You're welcome in Riften.
Thank you.
As long as you continue to obey our laws.
Out of my way. The son of the Jarl has no time for idle conversation with travelers.
Okay.
If this isn't about official city business, you're wasting my time.
Sounds like you dislike visitors in Riften.
Every day the threat of exile from Riften draws closer for myself and my family. Who knows how many spies the Empire has sent into our midst already? We're at war. This isn't the time for hospitality. Thank goodness Mother is keeping a level head about everything. If my brother Saelund had his way, we'd be flying Imperial colors by now.
You and your brother don't see eye to eye?
Can you believe that fool had the audacity to speak of his love for the Empire in the plaza? He expects us to drop our defenses and greet them with open arms, to dialogue with them rather than defend our homeland by spilling their blood. He's a traitor, plain and simple. Had I been sitting on the throne, he'd be hanging from the gallows for his sympathies toward the Empire.
So I noticed the son of the Jarl only carries a dagger.
If you must know, I was practicing in the yard when the guard I was sparring with fainted when I specifically told him to duck. My blade bit right into the stonework next to the keep and needed serious repairs. Thankfully, our smith Balamund works wonders. In fact, if you'd fetch my blade from him, I'd be most appreciative.
All right, I'll get it for you.
Thank you. Do hurry, please.
All right.
What can I
Are
do
you
for
his brother? You mentioned that I was going to ridicule you before. Why?
Because I did something not a soul in this blood-stained house of war has the backbone to
support
do.
the Imperials.
Dared to speak my mind. I dared speak of the Empire and the lies that have been spread by Ulfric, the leader of the Stormcloaks. Now my mother's stripped me of my heritage and incarcerated me here like a common criminal, and my brother has all but disowned me. Be wary what you say around here, friend. You'll find not all take kindly to insurrection.
And what sort of lies do you think Ulfric has been spreading?
Ulfric only cares about one thing. Ulfric. He's ordained himself the future High King of Skyrim, and steps on anyone that gets in his way. He's begun a rebellion against those that wish to eradicate the worship of Talos, and uses it as his rallying cry. His cause may be true, but the man is a lie.
Hello.
All he holds in his heart is lust for the throne.
Very interesting.
I have faith in you.
Good to see you.
All right, everybody. All right, we'll go grab his weapon. And then we might actually head deeper behind Riften into the valley. There's not much going on here for an honest resident of Skyrim. If you come here and you're not a corrupt person, you're probably not going to find too much to do. We've got a few low-level requests from people. Where did he say his Balamund?
And live to tell about it.
I think he said it was a Balamund. We got a few low-level quests from people that we complete over time, but nothing too big. Balamund, sir. I'm here to pick up Harold's sword.
Lazy good for nothing, isn't he? Sent you down here when I'm a stone's throw from the keep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sword. Tell Harold to stop slaying walls, and perhaps his blade will stay in better condition.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Get to it, then.
All right, we're going to drop this off real quick. I can't imagine he's got anything more than thank you to say. What a weird quest. Harold.
Out of my way. The son of the Jarl has no time for idle conversation with travelers.
I'm not here for idle conversation. I got your sword from Balamund.
Took your sweet time getting it.
How dare you!
Here you go.
You bastard. A ruby and an amethyst, not even a flawless amethyst. Whatever, screw this whole town.
Hello, friend.
Alright, like I mentioned, there's not much for an honest man to do here. We picked up a few small quests. Where is my team? There they go. We're gonna head out the back door here, I think, if we're allowed to. And we might see if we can find the Dawnguard, which I believe should be this way. We're gonna keep our ear to the ground. And if we can find a way to help out the poor people who are being oppressed by these awful, corrupt monsters, we may try to help out. But for now, being newcomers to the town, there's not much we can do here. There certainly is more to be discovered in Riften, and I'm sure we'll get into it as we go, but I imagine Eldmund is a little uneasy being in such an awful place. He's tried to be a very good person, helping as many as we can. Now, I haven't played the Dawnguard questline in 8 years, maybe? When did it come out? It must have come out 10 years ago. I probably haven't played it in 10 years. Oh, there's a ruin. Let's go take a look.
That's close enough.
Whoa. Where are you? Are you bandits? You look bandity.
Back off.
You sure do look bandity. I don't like the idea of leaving bandits here. I'm gonna toss on my helmet and get a little closer.
I'm warning you.
Oh, you look bandity. You are bandity. Oh! Oh! One down.
Nicely done.
Brutus takes care of the other. Nice, thank you. Alright, it seems like they were guarding a chest. Let's see what you were holding on to yourselves. Not much. And what was in this chest you were guarding? No traps, right? No, we're good. A Baltimore battle axe, 86 bucks, and some silvering. Alright. $87. You died for so little. My goodness. I suppose we pressed the issue, but we could have left them be. I don't love the idea of leaving bandits on the road. So close to town? Alright, on we go. I honestly do not remember how to start the Dawnguard. I feel like it's like through a cave, perhaps? Oh, there we go. That's gotta be it. I think it's this way. It's been so long, I honestly don't remember. But I believe we travel through a cave. Dayspring Canyon. Yeah, let's do that. Clear so far. No evidence of a Dawnguard.
Oh, hey there. You here to join the Dawnguard too?
Holy shit, where are you? There you are.
I'm a little nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Alright, well, hold on.
You don't mind if I walk up with you? Hey,
yeah.
Tell Isran I was afraid to meet him.
Slow down. I can't go that fast. I don't have enough stamina to keep up with you. Alright, whatever. Oh, there we go. A castle looms in the distance. Definitely on the right path. Ah, there's someone from the Dawnguard. Hello, sir. Durak.
You there. The Dawnguard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing vampire menace.
I know.
What do you say?
That's exactly why we made this pilgrimage, sir. Where would we sign up?
Ha! Isran's going to like you. He's up the hill in the fort. He'll decide if you're Dawnguard material.
Thank you, sir. Let's head up the hill. Alright, so that's just like a wall. That's not even the castle. Fort Dawnguard is up this way, I suppose. Careful with those bolts, Durak. Oh, no, it is. Okay, cool. It's on the next level. We were below it. Excellent. Hello, sir.
Will decide if you've got what it takes. I'll tell you, the only thing more surprising than hearing from Isran after all these years was hearing that he wanted my help. I immediately realized things must be pretty bad. Looks like I was right.
You've worked with Isran before?
I have. There was a time years ago when we were both members of the Vigilance, and both equally dissatisfied with them. Their hearts are in the right place, of course, but Isran and I were never comfortable. We left together, but that partnership didn't last very long. I didn't agree with some of his methods.
All right. Interesting to know.
Isran will want to talk to you.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
You know why I'm here. The Vigilants are under attack everywhere. The vampires are much more dangerous than we believed.
And now you want to come running to safety with the Dawnguard, is that it? I remember Keeper Carset telling me repeatedly that Fort Dawnguard is a crumbling ruin, not worth the expense and manpower to repair. And now that you've stirred up the vampires against you, you come begging for my protection.
Interesting.
Isran. Karset is dead. The Hall of the Vigilance, everyone, they're all dead.
That's true. We were literally just there.
We were wrong. Isn't that enough for you?
Yes, well.
Oh, I want to talk to both of these
Any of
guys.
this to happen. I tried to warn all of you. I am sorry, you know.
Oh, hold on. I want to talk to both of you guys. Are you coming to talk to me? All right, come over here.
So who are you?
I heard you were looking for vampire hunters.
You heard right. I'm glad word's finally starting to get around. But that means it won't be long before the vampires start to take notice as well.
And what can I do to help?
I need someone out in the field taking the fight to the damn vampires, while we're getting the fort back into shape. Tolan was telling me about some cave the Vigilants were poking around in. Seemed to think it was related to these recent vampire attacks.
Interesting.
Tolan, tell him about, what was it? Dim Hollow.
Yes.
Tolan.
Dim Hollow Crypt. Brother Adalvald was sure it held some long-lost vampire artifact of some kind. We didn't listen to him any more than we did Isran. He was at the hall when it was attacked.
I just came from the hall.
That's good enough for me. Go see what the vampires were looking for in this Dim Hollow Crypt. With any luck, they'll still be there.
Okay.
Here, you should take a crossbow. Good for taking
out
those
hells
fiends
yeah.
before they get close. Feel free to poke around the fort and take what you need. There isn't much yet, but you're welcome to anything you can use.
That's fantastic, thank you.
I'll meet you at Dim Hollow. It's the least I can do to avenge my fallen comrades.
That is very much appreciated.
That's a good idea.
What?
You Vigilants were never trained
I
for...
know what you think of us. You think we're soft, that we're cowards. You think our deaths proved our weakness. Stendarr granted you do not have to face the same test and be found wanting. I'm going to Dim Hollow Crypt. Perhaps I can be of some small assistance to you.
You there,
hold on.
Boy.
Talon.
I'll meet you in Dim Hollow Crypt. I owe these vampires a debt of vengeance.
My name is Agmir, sir.
Oh my god. Alright. Talon, let's get out of the way of whatever they got going on here.
My weapon? I mostly just use my paw's axe when wolves are attacking the goats.
Alright, Talon, before you head out.
Someday, we'll rebuild the Hall of the Vigilant. Mark my words. I'll see it done before they put me in the ground.
Yes, you mentioned the Hall of the Vigilance.
Yes. By destroying it, vampires hope to cripple our Order's activities in Skyrim. I suspect now it was Brother Adalvald's journals they were after. He was obsessed with ancient vampire artifacts and burial sites.
And what exactly was the Hall of the Vigilance?
The hall was a place of respite, learning, comradeship, where a road-weary brother or sister could rest for a time in peace and comfort. Most of our learning could be found there. We always studied our enemies, so we might better learn how to defeat them. But, of course, those days are gone now.
Are there any Vigilants still out there?
Of course there are. Most of us spend our lives as nomads, traveling from place to place in our endless war against evil. I wish I could say how many we numbered, but only a privileged few knew that, and they're dead now.
I'd like to report to you that the vampire terrorizing Falkreath is dead.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here's your reward.
Nice. So before we head out, what can you tell me about Dim Hollow Crypt?
Brother Adalvald had been there not long ago. Said he found something of great importance. It must have been important to the vampires as well, for them to risk an open attack on the Vigilants.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Stendarr watch over you.
Alright, well I think that's where we're going to leave it. We finally made it out to Fort Dawnguard, and while we weren't recruited, we were given a task to aid one of the Vigilants of Stendarr in finding out what the vampires were searching for when they destroyed the Hall of the Vigilance. And so I think that is what's next on our docket, is we're going to head out to Dim Hollow Crypt, I believe it was, and see what we can learn out there. But we will do that in the next episode, so subscribe for more Skyrim, and I'll see you next time.